Ren Kazuki wasn't your typical teenager. He carried a weight on his shoulders, a darkness in his past. 5 years ago, a horrific accident ripped his family from him. He blamed himself, the guilt a constant ache in his chest. He became withdrawn, pushing away anyone who tried to get close. His only solace was tinkering with discarded tech, a talent he honed to escape his pain. Ren lived in Neo-Kyoto, a sprawling metropolis powered by ether energy. The discovery of ether revolutionized the world. It was a source of clean energy, woven into the fabric of their lives, but ether was more than just energy. It held untapped potential, a power that could change everything. One fateful night, Ren stumbled upon a hidden message encoded in an old ether reactor. It spoke of sentinels, individuals who could wield ether as a weapon. The message was a beacon, a call to unlock his true potential. As he deciphered the final lines, a surge of energy coursed through him. He felt different, changed. Ren Kazuki was no longer just a boy lost in grief, he was a sentinel. The awakening was brutal. Ether surged through Ren, raw and untamed. He felt an overwhelming power, but it was chaotic, uncontrollable. It manifested as bursts of energy, knocking him off his feet, scorching the walls of his workshop. Fear gripped him. He didn't understand what was happening. Was this a gift or a curse? He spent the next few weeks trying to control the ether within him. It was like trying to tame a wild beast, each attempt ending in exhaustion and frustration. He couldn't tell anyone about his powers. They wouldn't understand. They'd think he was crazy, dangerous. He felt more alone than ever. One day, during a particularly intense training session, Ren lost control. The ether erupted, tearing through his workshop, the shockwave visible for miles. He knew he couldn't hide forever. He needed help, someone to guide him. That's when he found her. Arya, a young sentinel with eyes as bright as the ether itself. Arya was everything Ren wasn't: confident, in control, radiating an aura of calm amidst the storm of ether energy. She saw through his tough exterior, sensing the fear and the yearning for control. She took him under her wing, becoming his mentor, his guide in the world of sentinels. She taught him to harness the ether, to channel it, to bend it to his will. Arya took Ren to the Sentinel Academy, a hidden facility where individuals like him trained to master their abilities. The academy was a haven, a place where he could be himself, surrounded by others who understood his burden. He met Daigo, a hot-headed sentinel who wielded fire, and Professor Zenith, the wise old master who oversaw the academy. But the world outside the academy walls was dangerous. A new threat emerged, the Null Order, a shadowy organization that sought to weaponize ether for their own sinister purposes. They craved power, control, willing to unleash chaos to achieve their goals. Ren's awakening had not gone unnoticed. The Null Order sought to control him, to make him their weapon. Section 4. Allies and Enemies. The Null Order sent their agents after Ren, skilled sentinels twisted by darkness. Among them was Eclipse, a figure shrouded in shadow, wielding the power of darkness itself. Eclipse was like a dark reflection of Ren, a constant reminder of the path he could choose, the power he could succumb to. But Ren refused to be a pawn. He would fight for control, for freedom, for the future. The Sentinel Academy became a battleground. Ren fought alongside Arya and Daigo, their powers combining in a dazzling display of light and energy. He honed his skills, pushing his limits, mastering new techniques. He discovered his unique ability, the power to manipulate time itself, a power that could turn the tide of any battle. But the Null Order was relentless. They launched a devastating attack on Neo-Kyoto, plunging the city into chaos. The Ether Core, the heart of the city's power grid, was on the verge of collapse. If it fell, the resulting explosion would obliterate everything. Ren had to make a choice: stay and fight for his city, or pursue the Null Order and stop them at their source. Section 5. The Null Order Conspiracy. The central mystery of the Ether Core deepened. Ren discovered that the accident that took his family wasn't an accident at all. It was orchestrated by the Null Order, a deliberate act of sabotage to cover up their tracks. They were experimenting with ether, pushing its limits, and his family had been caught in the crossfire. The weight of this revelation threatened to crush him. His grief, his anger, it fueled the ether within him, threatening to consume him. Arya, Daigo, and Professor Zenith stood by him, reminding him of the good he could do, the people he could save. They helped him channel his pain, his rage, into a force for good. He would honor his family's memory by fighting for justice, for a future free from the tyranny of the Null Order. The final showdown took place at the heart of the Null Order's hidden fortress. Ren confronted the leader, a figure shrouded in mystery, driven by a lust for power and vengeance. The battle was brutal, a test of strength, will, and forgiveness. Ren had the chance to unleash his full power, to obliterate the Null Order and everything they stood for. But he remembered Arya's words, Professor Zenith's wisdom. He had to break the cycle of hatred, of vengeance. He had to choose control, forgiveness, even in the face of unimaginable loss. The essay would continue to explore Ren's final decision, the resolution of the conflict with the Null Order, and the lasting impact of his journey on himself and the world around him. The themes of power versus control, truth versus lies, and loss versus forgiveness would be further explored, leaving the reader with a sense of hope and the understanding that even in the darkest of times, the potential for good and the strength to choose forgiveness can prevail.